Long distance PBA players perspective from Jonesboro, Arkansas, the 2020 Go Bowling PBA Jonesboro Open. I'm Jeff Goodger, and I'm joined by two men who combined to shoot .559 in the title match, Kyle Troup and Chris Barnes. Thanks, guys, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Mostly a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Chris. And let's start with you because you had a great opening to this season. This was the third show of the season and the second one that you made. And you qualified fourth for this one, and you had a pretty formidable crew in front of you just to get to Kyle. So talk about your confidence coming into this title match and what it took to even get to it.
Well, I did make the show a couple of weeks ago, and anytime you can kind of build on that momentum, it certainly helps, and it helps kind of getting back in the flow of TV, because it really doesn't matter how many shows you are, you still get pretty hyped when you're making shows. But, you bowled Tommy in the first match. You got Jason waiting after that. Kind of acknowledged the newest best bowler without a title, but AJ Johnson will have to be a future titleist. And then I got my Weber Cup teammate sitting on top, and he crushed them all week. So it was been on enough shows and had some good runs at times, but it's so hard, especially when Urething's involved, to make it through more than one or two games, especially with that kind of rev rate on the show.
Kyle, as Chris is doing all this bowling, you are sitting there waiting to find out who you get to bowl, and you told me that you were feeling a little different during this waiting period than you ever had in your career. Just talk a little bit about that as the top seed.
Yeah, definitely. That was new territory for me in a sense. I'd only led a tournament as the number one seed once, and that was in the doubles. So I had Jesper there pretty much the whole time. And this time around, it was an hour and a half probably before I bowled or whatever. I was ready to get on the lanes, and I couldn't really relax. I just didn't really know what to do. Like, I tried breathing, I tried bowling, I walked outside. So that's what I did. I walked outside, called Jesper because he went home that week, and just chatted a little bit, walked back in, watched some more bowling. And Tim Mack said the one thing to me that really clicked was don't hope to win, expect to win. And, I knew there was a lot of good bowlers coming up. And then, with CB, as good as he was bowling, I couldn't even think about, like, who I want to bowl. I just got to expect the best out of whoever gets to the title match and then try and give them my best. And I was finally able to get through to that, luckily before the match started.
The number one seed has 3 Go Bowling PBA Tour.
That's right. We had the Kobe. Yeah, that's right. The Kobe colors. That was during that week as well. I like the intros this year. It's kind of cool what they've done with that. And, man, they're talking about the event and stuff, but you bowled unbelievable. Like, I know we've had our fair share of, some talk but, you still having, a great year, but especially at the beginning of that year, you were bowling unbelievable. So I knew that it was going to take a big game. I didn't think it was going to take 290, but, I knew there was going to be some striking. The lanes seemed to develop perfectly, right?
Yeah, really. And when you picked to finish on the left lane, I thought that was the smartest thing you could do. I know your rev rate's so high and all that, but we, I know how good you are when you can keep your angles at the head pin like that. And obviously, my rev rate at whatever I'm not sure about 447. Let's just call it 400.
That's a lot, right? Well, you did 4-pin. You might have hit on that one.
But 420 versus 520. You're great at keeping your angles tight, whereas most two-handers, can get it away. This is that super long break in between that and the title match because there's no commercials.
That's right. Yeah.
So I had probably 10 or 12 minutes between shots. I went over the other side and threw some shots, but that one was pretty bad there.
It looked left. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Plus, you got a lot of shots too. So I did move out of that shot, but to miss far enough left to go high, it really had to be high with what I was doing.
Yeah, and that was, I think, something that really gave me, a little advantage is we were playing the lanes pretty similar.
This shot scared me a ton here. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when.
I thought it was great. Like, I'm still kind of like baffled, I guess. The only thing is I got it a little too far right. That's why I wasn't really shocked at all. I was like, okay, make it, because I laced my first shot. That's something I always tell myself, on TV. Your first shot on each lane, you got to be 110% committed. And I was. And that was the result. But my spare ball works pretty good at some splits on TV. I've been blessed with that so far. Thank you. Like, you know, it's supposed to wrap around it sometimes, right?
You're supposed to just miss the one in front or hit in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, you're hooking a spare ball. How do you know how much it's going to hook?
That one's probably getting retired. I actually think I left it at the World Series along with a bunch of other balls.
Yeah, that's what I do with balls I really like. Never.
This was a good week with it, but
I watched the last couple minutes of practice, and then I watched this one. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I knew how good that lane was. I had peeled it off that lane pretty good, and I had missed too much, so there was a little strip there. Most of the guys kept getting farther left of it, and so they didn't really use it, and I knew you'd be able to use it. So I knew you were going to bowl really good in the left lane. The right lane, I could feel there was starting to be some early friction, and I knew you were left of me too, so that was going to be the trick.
yeah, and I think that's something I never really seen in my practice shots. I don't really remember them, but you know, I never really seen that early hook, so it really scared me a little bit. But you know,
that was a little further right, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, never mind. He's far enough left of me. No big deal. I just got to make sure I get it there. It's going to be fine. It came off of, you know, almost two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have as much hold as I did, but I just have to get it over there. It'll be fine.
Makes sense.
I make a little one board move here.
And this lane is money. This lane was so nice. I mean, it was like you said, it was impossible to go high.
And I bowled pretty good.
You bowled unbelievable those first couple games.
I mean,
yeah. Carry the 10 right there. You know, it's a good shot when you don't wrap 10. Here we go.
Yeah. That ordinance solid was money. I used one during the week as a lower pin. We drilled a higher pin just in case, and it was so good on this show.
So, yeah, I moved one on this, and then I just told myself keep it in front of me a little bit more.
You move like three off everything. Then you actually go high. You only move one.
Yeah, because it was more my angles. I felt like, and you see there.
I'll never understand.
Hey,
no
man,
wonder you both are left-handed and double.
Well, you know, that way together we can figure out. Together, me and Jesper can figure out one of us, and we hope that one just strikes enough.
He told me that she's had a lot of
yeah, and you know, this was back when Mom was having a lot of rough times. You know, she was quite sick. I hadn't been home in a couple months, and so there was a lot going on this week. But you know, that's all in the back of my mind here, just trying to make another good shot because you know I know we're in for a big match.
Yeah, right there. That one's in just a little bit, and it's mowing the 8-pin over. So I know you're striking every time on the left lane, and now we're in. You know, and your ball was, like you said, it was further left on the left lane. It didn't go high, and it still picked up. It didn't like.
Yeah, you can hear me say catch. I yell catch like at the last second, just to carry the 10 out, and there's the kiss to Mom. So that couldn't have happened at any better time. Like you know, they talk about Mom, and then that frame happens. Like how they work that out, who knows? And there you go.
That ball picked up like 5 feet early. Like angle-wise, it started off almost on the same, you know, it would have been like, it would have got to like 4, I think, you know, 4.5 down lane, which is kind of what I've been doing. It picked up so quick.
And that's just all the urethane? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, everybody was left of me pretty much at their late.
That's another thing to show how great you were bowling. Like,
but the problem for me most of the time, especially urethane, I can hook it enough, but I have to throw it slow, and I have to make it pick up. You know, I'm old school urethane. So I make it hook by making a hook 12 feet
early,
you know, for 48
and then still creating the angle too. Like,
and so that's what happened in the show 2 weeks before this is I got the third game, and it just, you know, the front of the lane.
So far left. Yeah. Yep. Remember that. So I guess I caught the break there. He didn't carry the Brooklyn. It could have fallen.
Well, I thought I caught the Brooklyn. There's no way I catch the next one. That just carved it. Yeah. So
there's the dust of the fingers. I didn't know which one it was.
No, I missed that one at the bottom. Actually, the one before was super flush, and I, you know, that carryover thing is the high school deal. The last one goes high, and you're like, even though you're separating them, the next one you still miss a little bit, and you're like, you can't miss it on that lane.
No, you got it. That was the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty good here. I mean,
Yeah, you have two different shots in there, and like this one starts getting to the right a little bit, and it does all the right things. I'm like, oh wow.
and that was a hit.
Now I'm in
That
big
was a
trouble.
hit all week too, right there.
Yeah, I'm going through my mind now. My last shot, that's 4 boards. If I move now, am I going to move into Jason and AJ and Tommy's lay down? How much do I have to move here? Because I don't have to watch this shot. I know this one's going to be a strike. You got this lane wired.
Yeah, and this was the thing this week. This was one of the first times I threw a ball with no weight holes. And for me, it just kind of really stretches the front part of the lane out. It just goes an extra like 4 or 5 feet. And apparently that matches up really well when we're bowling on long, keep my angles in front of me. And I felt like that ball, it was literally just that ball. I think I might have threw an idle a little bit too, but it just gave me so much hold. It's like I didn't see any of the fronts getting chewed up.
Well, the fact you worked so hard on speed control too, the weight hole thing, I don't think is going to bother you that much.
Now, I definitely thought we had a commercial right here. That's why I was kind of giving it a little extra.
You're all the hype.
And then I looked up and you don't see me. I'm like, oh.
Hey, once you make
matches,
title matches, you'll know that the title one they don't have.
Well, I'm used to always bowling
you got
before the
14
title
shots
match.
of practice before the match started.
I mean, it was 8, but probably only needed about 6.
Yeah, down. And then it just needed the right lane. So I think I moved I don't really know what to move here. I think I only moved 3 instead of 4 or 5. No, I take it back. I did. I moved almost the full 5. And that one's okay. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, still in the game. I'm one miss away.
1 hit down. Yeah.
Yeah, just 1 hit down. So, all right. Huge sigh of relief because I spent the whole time of those 2 shots going, oh, what am I going to do? Do I spin
I can only imagine
do I just
what
move?
your mind was saying.
If I move, what's it going to do? All right. And I moved. I want to say I ended up moving 5 and just grabbed the
Trust it.
for all it was worth.
Oh, you caught up on it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was so much touch involved for you on that right lane the whole show. It was sick to watch. And there's another just money shot on that lane.
And now I think
ain't going anywhere. Yep. Here we go. Like a lot of people took that as kind of a trash talk thing, but there's so many guys on tour, and I know you do it sometimes anytime we cross, you just, so I took it. It kind of almost relaxed me a tad,
Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
I'll remember that.
We did that in the Weber Cup, that kind of thing. But, just trying to get you going a little. Have to. You're wired. You got one in, you got one right now, and they both struck in half pocket. And now, now I'm all right. Well, you just got to.
And that was the other thing.
You got to hope for a ring 10 or something. Kind of. You need from my side, I need a break now because I don't think you're going to miss. I know you're not missing the pocket.
I mean, maybe a wrap 10 on this lane.
Probably about it.
Flat 10 or wrap 10 if I get a little firm, but.
Focused I think I've ever seen Kyle.
But you're in rhythm. You're in the right spot. When you didn't answer me, I knew you were where you needed to be. You caught all of that one.
Ooh, oh yeah, 544.
Yeah.
And the guy yelled, "Get the pick out."
Yeah, you saw it. I knew you did.
And I'm trying to settle down here because I know what's coming. I mean, I feel like you're going to strike again. You made the big move. Get the pick out. I teased him. I only gave him 2 picks.
Nah.
Man, I was having a good hair day there. The doubles one, man, it was all flat and stuff.
Yeah,
so you made that big move.
All the right things, and I think it's good. Watch what this does. And I mean, it's hard to see on TV. But that thing hooked
oh my God, yeah, that thing hooked so early.
And I'm like, I did almost the same thing as a 6-pin. I'm like, I walked right into where you guys were at. And I'm like, well, that one struck. I don't know how I'm going to strike in the 10th, but at least if I can get one here, you have to show.
You got a chance, yeah.
Yeah, you never know if
the rest of the game.
The potential score sometimes matters more than what,
Definitely. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm looking at
2 more, and I'm starting to get so deep with urethane that I can flat 10 at any point.
I don't think.
And so now I know I really need some help, but you don't necessarily know that.
No, I mean, I think you're good. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
so
been
if I
watching
can throw
you
a strike
average
here,
240, 250.
269 still in your head, maybe I get a little bit of help. AJ gave me a little help the time before. I didn't think I was going to get any. So that one there's pretty good.
That's pretty solid right
Now
there.
we're going to have to move again. You were beating it up pretty good, and you were way closer to me than most of the other guys were. So
Yeah, I mean, you're at 19. I think I was like 21, 21.4 on the last one.
yeah, but you were getting on top of my spot closer down the lane than anybody else. It wasn't in the lay down, and I was so up the back of it.
Okay.
Really, the front didn't change much. It's just that mid lane where it started to tip.
Brilliantly, I was concerned. The players were concerned that the lanes would just turn into a disaster with all the traffic.
So I slapped the 10 here. You know, another shot. Keep the speed on the frame before I slapped the 10.
Yeah.
Just try to stay slow and just slow enough.
That's slow.
But,
all right.
Hey, I mean,
all right.
It's 19.5. That was half a mile an hour slower.
That thing
I
almost
must have missed it at the bottom. 490. That's why I almost left the 5 pin. Imagine if I had down to 420. Like, probably would have left the 5 and
I didn't
7.
see it, but I knew from the reaction that something happened. And then I looked up and I saw the 5. I'm like, he was never leaving a 5 pin. That wasn't really. I just assumed it was like a 7 pin or a 10 pin, you know, like a bird dog, because of the delay. And where it hit the pocket, you can hear the sound.
Yeah. And here I've never felt a moment like this. My mom was racing so fast. I've said it before. Yeah, I took the re-rack, obviously, just trying not to think forward, you know, because if I don't make the best shot possible right here, I can lose, you know, and it was one of the toughest things to settle my mind down. But
what was going through your mind here?
I mean, off my hand, you know, now, like.
But now you know you won.
Yeah, well, off my hand, I really liked it. I mean, I knew I was going to get at least 9, but I thought I laced it. You know, it felt good to me. And so I knew at least I'd have 269 possible. How did I calm myself?
Yeah.
Just tried to, you know, focus on your process and stay in the moment. You know, get back down to basics. Just try and make one more good shot because I was trying to stay so focused because I knew you were going to bowl so good. And I was the number 1 seed for a reason. And I just tried to make 10 of the best shots because I felt like if I made 10 of the best shots, nobody could beat me that week. And that was – I had to just go back into it as much as I was thinking forward about mom and how happy they'll be if I strike here. And, you know, I'll win another title. Like everything would happen the way it's supposed to. And just have to block that out until you're done. And I love Jonesboro. You know, I finished second there to Tommy a couple years before that. And my boy Ducey there.
I'm the PBA, the ultimate PBA straight man this year. You know, I just set it up so Tommy, you know, I bowled a terrible game against Tommy, so he gets, and then he shoots 300 after shooting about 170 or 180. And then, we got the transition game on that right lane, and he figured it out. But and then, you know, I kept it close enough so it wasn't boring. And
we're just talking about that right lane now.
And wanted to get to a 20th title. That was it was a pretty surreal, pretty perfect moment. And then obviously knowing what we know now, even more so.
Boy, you got to give Chris a lot of credit. He's going to shoot 260 or can't shoot.
Sorry, I just got a phone call that came through, but yeah, I mean this week was a lot. I mean and then after, you know, winning it for mom and everybody and all that, I mean, this was a big step for me. You know, I'm a confidence bowler. I didn't have the best 3 weeks before then, you know, so this kind of came in. You know, I had the feeling at the beginning of the week that I was going to make the show. You know, they kind of quoted me saying I was going to win. I said I was going to make the show, but, you know, it just felt good. Everything matched up, and it does feel good to have a Hall of Famer's number on TV. So I'll just leave that at that.
Number?
I mean, I've gotten you twice. I sent you out of the playoffs. I ended the great run. Yeah, there's the numbers. What are those numbers?
I believe it's 19-3.
19-3.
Yeah, 19's a lot bigger than 3. I have 19 singles titles.
Oh, okay. The 3. I was wondering. I was like, wait a second. You shortened me out here? All right. Yeah.
No, no, yeah. If you didn't can't win them on your own, I don't count the team ones either. I'm Speaking of which, though, my phone's ringing here. Let me see this. Hey, Jesper, what's going on? What's going on?
Hey Chris, it's Jesper. Would you tell Kyle how proud I am for him to finally win it on his own? For sure, I hope he bowls good in doubles one time. That would be great.
Thanks, Jesper. I'll let him know.
Oh my gosh, you got me. Oh man, here I was gonna be nice to you and everything. Oh wow, yeah, I'm speechless. That's a good one. You know, it makes me feel so good to know that Jesper's proud of me, because that's like one of my goals in life. Just make him proud.
He's like the big brother you never had. Well, I mean, yeah. But he's the other he's the other brother that you never wanted.
Yeah, I guess I'll take him though.
No, that's
looking forward to watching.
I'll get started. That was one of the best title matches I've seen bowled. I bowled Walter at the Masters one year, and he shot 290 at me there, and that's probably two of the best that I've seen. Because I know we made them look like they were pretty soft, but really
they weren't. I
mean, the shot tracker kind of shows what's going on, and you put a butterfly on there, and that was. There's not one of those things where you go back and you go, how do you get away with that? After the first frame, it was all money.
And then that Brooklyn that you threw, it probably, like you said, wasn't even that bad of a shot. So really, I don't know if there's any shots that you could really want back either.
It was a little left, but I don't know if it would have struck anyway, and it just would have caused a problem later. I ended up moving boards by the time I fell ball to get to the right zone.
So I guess you needed to see that, but
I completely maximized my score. 230 was probably closer to what I should have shot. With moves and everything else to get to where I got to. So,
Fair play. And I guess one of the 5 pins could have stood 269.
That wasn't happening. Maybe a 510 somewhere, a scout in front of the 10. That was about my only chance there. So, but
Dick Allen always said we all send messengers. Some hit different pins. I don't know if I was really using messengers to get those out, but we'll take it.
A laughing baby, mine don't hit any sometimes. So,